Right now. There we go.
Okay.
We're live. Hey, live. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Yeah, I don't see it on here for some reason. Should be able to see. I guess you can't see your own stream. I don't know. It's weird. Oh, no. That's your stream. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. All right. So, all right. Guess I'll just start out by this is I don't know if this is going to be a regular thing or not. This is just chat that I do with my son, Bruce Jr. Usually we just chat over Hangouts. We don't usually record it or anything. So I thought about putting this on my channel. We've chatted one time or so on his channel, and probably of no interest to anybody, to be honest with you. But you can, if you like to eavesdrop on what people are just BSing about or whatever, then this is the broadcast for you, pretty much. So that's about it. Oh, he's my oldest son of two sons. I have another son, Nicholas. He could join us at any time. Who knows? So that's about where we're at right now. Oh, I'm sorry about my poor cam quality, but I'm using a webcam from like 2003, I think. So you get what you get here. All right, so start the chat. So just start like we usually do. What's going on?
Hanging out.
Right.
Post Christmas Day stuff.
Do you still have people over?
Stuff. No, everyone's gone.
Okay.
Probably had 5 pounds of meat yesterday.
Jesus.
Myself, but I made 21-pound rib roast, and then it was like a gift too. So everyone that came got basically a free 2-pound rib steak for themselves to take home.
Yeah, so they got like a $50 host gift.
Yeah, pretty much. Like if you were to go to steakhouse, that would be $50 easy.
Right. So everybody liked it.
They were pretty happy. Yeah, they were. There's one lady there that's pregnant who has an aversion to meat at this point, so I don't know that she cared about it. She's pregnant, so everything makes her nauseous, you know.
Well, she can give it to her man friend. I'm assuming she's probably not married.
She's married.
Oh, okay.
So he'll probably eat it. He actually brought a brisket itself too.
Wow.
It wasn't a whole brisket; it was some of it that he cut.
Oh, okay.
He's my neighbor, so I was watching him smoke it as I smoked mine.
Wow, that neighborhood must have been rocking with the smoke on Christmas.
Sure. It was I smoked for about 8 hours, hickory, and I start with little mesquite and then move to hickory because too much mesquite gets crazy on the barbecue.
Right. That thing was pretty massive. I mean, is that a regular size roast that you would buy?
I buy that normally without the bone a lot of times. I like the bone for some stuff, but you're paying for bone a little bit. It's not any cheaper. It's the same price at Costco. So I usually buy it without the bone, but all they usually do is just trim the backside of the rib, take the bone off, and they give you the roast, which is basically the rib eye roast. But I usually buy that same sort of packer. It's a cryovac packer that's like I don't know, somewhere between 18 and 25 pounds, something like that, 15 to 20 pounds. And I usually buy that, once a month, maybe twice a month at a long month.
Right.
And I cut it into steaks myself. I've only smoked one once before that way, but I just basically know I do so much brisket and pork and other chuck and stuff that it's the same principle. But the difference with this one though is you're not so with brisket, you want to bring that thing up to like 210 degrees internal.
Right.
This thing you want like medium rare. So I brought it up to like 135, 137, took it off, wrapped it, put it in a cooler so it stays warm, and it'll raise the temp up inside to probably like 145, 140,
Right.
145. So it was still bloody, but not too crazy. The juices stayed in because I let it rest for a while. And then it's, you cut it, and it's about, rare, medium rare,
And
which is
nobody complained and asked to throw theirs back on there.
no, because I mean, anyone that's eating prime rib knows like that's what it like. You don't serve prime rib above medium rare.
Well, no, but I mean, some people are like crazy if they see any kind of blood at all. They're like, ah!
Yeah, I mean, we had brisket there they could have had instead.
Yeah, well, there's no blood in the brisket.
Right. So but it was pretty good. I mean, people were stuffed.
Yeah, I bet. Well, that's a lot of meat, man. That thing was. Why is it the same price for bone in or bone out? I mean, that's
Because
crazy.
actually, this might have been a little bit of a deal because it's Christmas time, but normally they don't even have the bone-ins out there. You have to ask the butcher for it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it makes a nice presentation. Everything. It's like, yeah, look at this bone. Look at this giant bone on the plate.
Yeah, I Frenched it too, so that you move some of the meat in between the bones, so it looks nicer.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is, you get massive pieces if you're going to cut on the bone. You're getting massive steaks out of that. They're like over 2 inches in height.
Yeah, those are really wide.
Yeah, so but people dug it. I mean, it was good. There was other stuff there too, like people brought cheese trays and antipasta kind of things, salami and stuff. And I think someone made a salad. I don't know, some sort of salad, and someone brought potato something or other. Like half the people there don't eat carbs or a lot like regularly, so only a few people even had the other stuff. So but I mean, it was pretty much Christmas when you don't have family that lives here. We did it for people that don't have immediate family around, so they're just hanging out by themselves. So we said, okay, anyone that's not with family, we'll have Christmas dinner at our house for anyone that doesn't have family. So it was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's not like every Christmas that you go over to somebody's crib and you're getting giant prime rib dinner.
Probably not. I mean, that was like a $200 roast.
Yeah.
Or $190 or something.
What is that, like $11 a pound? Something like that?
Yeah, I think it was $10.99 a pound or something.
Right.
I'm kind of kicking myself a little bit. I'm going to go out tomorrow. Everyone has that stuff on some deals at places like Safeway or Fred Meyer or Cash and Carry. Those places have these things because of the season, and they're blowing them out now, $5 a pound, stuff like that.
Wow, yeah, everything that didn't sell, for the holiday.
It's gonna be. I'm gonna try and go grab some stuff.
I wonder if this this video is not streaming public right now because we have nobody in here.
Did you make it public?
I think it's public.
According to your feed, I went to your channel, Moose Tube. Where the heck is it?
Usually I would have a couple people would have dropped in here by now, but
maybe it's because it's Christmas time.
I don't know.
Moose Tube says it's live. I'm viewing it. Yeah, it's live.
Huh, okay. I'm not as popular as I thought I am.
You got one thumb up on it. Oh, I like this. My thumb up.
All right.
About a 5-second delay.
Yeah, I'm hearing myself a little bit back through you.
I could turn it down, and I could also put on headphones, I guess.
Right. I got earbuds in.
I like the no headphone look.
Yeah. Well,
I actually could. I'll just turn my noise gate up so there's less.
Why don't you use your in-ear monitors that you use and play?
You shouldn't hear yourself now.
No, I don't at all.
I just turned the noise gate up a little bit. That's better.
Yeah. So yeah, I went to Walmart today, and I wasn't really looking for deals. I was mainly just picking up a couple of things that I needed, and I was surprised. Like they still had I don't know if they were recently marked down or because it said it was $1.38 a pound was Butterball turkeys. They were down to 98 cents a pound.
98 cents?
Yes, a pound for Butterball.
Is that, I don't remember. Is Butterball more expensive usually?
Usually it's a little more expensive, a little bit. The only thing that sometimes I don't like about Butterball is the breast is too big. It's too much breast.
Yeah,
I
Although
mean,
what happens with those is it's such a long cook time. If you don't do it right, you'll have an undercooked turkey.
yeah, the breast is pretty big.
And then you'll dry out if you try and go too. It's a fine
Right.
line when you got a big breast like that.
Right. And they did the other day, they had this some off-brand that I never heard of, frozen whole turkeys that were 38 cents a pound. But
Mm.
I mean, that is such trash price. I mean, I'm almost afraid.
It's pretty cheap. They
I
got to
mean,
blow them out though, because they're gonna have a shelf life. They'll never sell them.
yeah, right. They can't now. And I didn't see any of those today, but they also had a ham. Ham was really cheap too. They still had hams out there for and a lot of them for I think Smithfield hams for 98 cents a pound.
Be good.
I mean, that's cheap.
I would love to have a country ham. I barely see them out here, but and I'd like to see if I could find one that has no sugar in the cure. But I don't know that anyone does that. That basically what I'm talking about is like
Yeah,
Spanish ham,
right.
like whatever that's called, where they bury it or it's just cured with salt forever,
Right.
aged. But they even the country sugar stuff is like friggin' they don't have them here. I never see the ham hanging like they do there.
No, around here there's hams hanging in a lot of places, but there most of them have sugar on them.
It's not a common thing to see any of that sort of ham hanging around like they would over there. That's just not here.
Well, it's not big.
Southern thing.
Pork isn't that big there.
Is it well pork? There's plenty of ham and pork everywhere. There's no cured like country hams. That's not a
You
thing.
know, well, it's a Virginia thing. I mean, Virginia is famous for its hams.
It's that country ham stuff's the best.
Yeah.
I can't stand those spiral cut or shank stuff.
They got a bunch of sugar on them, honey, maple glaze, this or that things or whatever on them.
And it never tastes like ham. It tastes like
Oh, sweet.
wheat, and you don't taste any pork.
Right.
But the sugar or the country hams are great.
I like fresh ham. Fresh ham I like. It's got a huge fat cap on it.
Had just fresh ham.
Yeah, fresh ham. You don't see it that often in the supermarket. Every once in a while, they might have 1 or 2 or 3 of them rolling around in there, but it's got a huge fat cap on it. And it's
I've seen that. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
The best ham really is prosciutto, which is just aged.
Yeah, it's just aged.
And it's sliced thin because if you slice it thick, it's too difficult to deal with. But
right.
Basically raw usually. It's cured with salt.
Right. Yeah, it's not cooked at all.
It's so expensive. Prosciutto is like $40 a pound.
Yeah.
You're gonna buy when you go to the store, you don't buy a pound or a half pound.
No, you get can I have 8 slices? You know, that's what you get. And it's like, yeah, that's $19.
Right. And it's paper thin.
Right.
You can see through it.
Yeah. I hear Hope in the other room firing up Netflix, so this quality might go down to crapper.
Well, it's only download, not upload.
Oh, that's true.
Shouldn't be much upload, at least.
No.
I don't know if they let you download on the desktop or the Xbox like cache ahead of time.
Yeah, Netflix does cache on the Xbox a little bit.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Because I've had it where like I know I lost internet and like I'm still watching my Netflix for the next 10 minutes.
Well, that much will cache, but I mean, like you could on the mobile, you can download.
Well, yeah, you can download the whole thing. The Xbox doesn't let you download the whole thing. No, I wish they would.
Yeah, that would be nice. None of the desktop apps do, I don't think.
They're so afraid of the piracy. I mean, God.
Breaking that encryption is going to be like the average dude's not doing that.
Well, no, you could screen grab the whole thing easily.
You could technically screen grab on the phone.
Yeah, you can do it there too.
People don't, I guess they don't try it.
No. And a lot of people now, they're just viewing their Netflix on phones or tablets or laptops or whatever. Not even using TVs.
I see people taking pictures of like watching Christmas movies with the family and they're like have a laptop sitting on a chair. It's those people that like say, oh, we don't have TV in our house. Oh, you don't have TV in your house, but everyone's on their phone, their tablet, the MacBook. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Okay, you don't have a TV in the house, but you got plenty of devices.
You got 30 other screens rolling around everywhere.
Right. It's like, okay, it's some sort of, I don't know what it is.
It's a virtue signaling. You know, I'm better than
Kind of
you. I'm
kind
not
of virtue
watching
signaling.
garbage TV.
Right, garbage TV. Yeah, but you're scrolling through memes and looking at horrible Facebook videos that suck.
Or look at the 75th Instagram picture with the girl with her butt hanging out, or a Starbucks $30 coffee in her hand.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Do I need that? Or the 700 girls with cat ears and a mouse nose.
Oh yeah, the Snapchat stuff.
Yes, it's ridiculous.
I
I mean, sometimes I wish a meteor would hit this place, and then 2,000 years from now, like people rise up again or whatever somehow, and look at that stuff and they're like, "What the hell was this?"
I kind of wonder if that's going to happen because I'm trying to think. Like, you think about 30 years ago, the 80s. What was at that point? Do you look back on and say, "What? Why were we doing that?" And not just that a technological solved, but like a societal or cultural thing.
Uh, I don't know. You could look back and look at we look at hieroglyphics or whatever, or cave drawings, and we're like, "What the hell is going on here?"
Yeah, well, I kind of wonder. I don't know, like people were doing silly things not 30 years ago, and that's now is like, well, we would never do that because it's ridiculous. And I don't know what that is. It might maybe it's like parachute pants or something like that. But
Maybe you could look back at cave drawings, and it was they were actually really narcissistic too. Like maybe those things are like selfies. I'm drawing pictures of myself.
that's possible.
This is me killing a wild beast with a spear.
Right. Look at
Here
look
I
at
am.
me.
Look at
And,
me.
and then the caveman guy's like, what are you doing here? They're
It
like,
was
hey
all
man, I'm
they were
drawing
all
myself.
bragging. They were bragging on the cave walls.
Right.
They were flexing. That was all flexing.
Right. Flexing the cave wall.
Look at this. Look at this guy's flex. Three
Yeah.
buffalo in a day. What is he kidding me?
Right. Right. It's fake. He didn't actually even see
Right.
saw a
No
buffalo,
way.
never killed him.
I didn't see those pelts hanging up. He's lying.
Right. Oh, they were getting a war over that. Be like, "Where's the pelts? We
Right.
saw the
Right.
cave drawing."
Right. Right.
"Oh,
Yeah.
no, I don't really have them, man. I was just playing around. Well, now I'm just gonna kill you because you were lying."
Right. Where's all this meat you're supposed to share with the village?
Right. "Oh, I didn't. Sorry. I ate it all. Wait." And then you're
Yeah.
gonna get killed either way.
Right.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. One thing I'll say is lots of kids have stopped doing the Instagram or Facebook thing, and maybe that'll eventually evolve to people just stop doing the thing in general. Why would you keep doing the social media thing?
Because people are naturally vain and they like to show off and everything.
Yeah,
And
yeah, but it's I don't know. Some people are saying that there's unknown consequences of such things. You'll figure it out in 30, 40 years when you get older, and you're like, man, I'm kind of messed up now because of this.
I think one of the worst. So now with the end of the year, you're seeing a lot of this end of the year, this end of the year, that what happened during the whole year, whatever, 2018 at a glance and everything. So one of the worst things I saw today was on Twitter, was a guy. And I would say, I don't know if this is humble brag or flex. You tell me what it is. But he posted his Uber stats for the whole year. How much money he paid, how many minutes he spent in Ubers. He paid in euros, yen. And so, in other words, he traveled around the world with Uber. He spent like I don't know, 9 grand or something like that in Uber over the year. And I was like, I don't know. Come on. What is this guy doing?
Yeah, it's just showing that he's a road warrior and he's using Uber. It
Yeah.
almost sounds like an Uber ad.
Exactly. Maybe.
But I mean, I'll say 9 grand for the year.
Right.
Trying to think. Owning a car is if you lived in major metro and you used Uber for everything, might be cheaper than owning a car.
Maybe in some cities or places where you can't park, like in New York City, there's no place to park without paying like $400 a month.
I mean, what's a standard car loan? 5 years?
Yeah, 5 or 6 years now.
That'd be like a luxury vehicle, so $50,000 vehicle basically for 4 years.
Right. So, but and then you're not counting in all the maintenance and fuel and everything and all of that.
Well, that's true. So maybe it is cheaper than to Uber everywhere. The only problem with it is it only works in major metro areas.
And you don't own anything, and you could be standing there waiting for rides too. When you want to go, when you want to hop somewhere that's only for 5 minutes, you're going to call Uber and you got to pay $11.
Well, you might in a city where it takes you 20 minutes to park and $20 to park.
That's true too.
You know, that whole deal is probably really the reason that you would use it, because parking, like especially in Seattle, $16 a day is pretty much the minimum.
Want to park for your work vehicle for the day or wherever you work.
And it's $16 a day, you know, somewhere in that world. You know, it's $300 to $400 a month.
Aren't these companies either giving you a voucher or factoring that into your salary?
Well, some companies are, yeah, but I'm just saying, you live in the city and you're parking all over the place. You're paying for parking,
right?
You know, the only thing is getting out of the city. If you ever want to leave, you can't really. I mean, you could try an Uber and say, hey, I want to go to 40-mile drive. It's going to cost you $400, whatever it is.
Well, also, isn't I never used Uber or anything like that, but isn't also the problem of this? Sometimes you're waiting, like, you know, there's like nobody right near where you are. You might have like a 20-minute wait or something like that for somebody to come on.
In the middle of an area where there's not a lot of people Ubering, like where I live here, since it's the burbs, that would happen here. You got to plan it. But in the city, and it's a regular decent time of the evening or the day, you can get one in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And if it's really busy traffic, like you're coming out of a sporting event, that'll be bad. But that's the same with cabs.
But don't they stack up the Uber people when they know like the game's getting out?
Yeah, that gets a little funky, that too, because in my opinion, after a game, a cab is easier because you just see it, get in. You're doing an Uber, you got to wait for your Uber to show up with all the other cars that are also there, and you got to find it. And usually you're like in the middle of the road. They won't even come and park on the curb and let you in. You're running out onto the lane and hopping in the car.
Don't you look at the map and then try and grab the one that looks like it's closest to where you're standing?
You try that. Well, no, Uber doesn't, like, you can't choose the car. The car chooses you.
Oh, so you just put out a thing like, hey, I need to go to such place.
Yes.
And then the guy sees that and
he accepts it. And then and usually it's close to you, especially if there's a ton around. But if there's not, like, you could get somebody to accept your ride that's not close necessarily. And sometimes they'll accept it and cancel your ride. And that sucks.
How much of a problem do you think with Uber is of the circumventing the app with people exchanging
it's a problem. I did it.
WhatsApp numbers and stuff like that.
I did it in Philly. Dude was like, "Hey man, you know, here's Uber. We could do Uber." He's like, "But check it out. Just call me," because he owned his own chauffeur company anyway.
And he would send a car.
He would send a car, or he would come. It was cheaper because I use the Uber app. It's probably 20-30% more. So I would just call him and say, "Hey man, I need a ride," and it was basically a way for him to pub his chauffeuring business.
Yeah, so it's basically just like an on-demand car service.
Yeah, it's just car service, and it was so I used it for the airport all the time. If I was going to the city and back to my apartment, I would just call him, be like, "Hey man, hey Zach," his name was Zach. Say, "Hey Zach, I'm over here. I need to go to the airport." He's like, "Cool, I'll be there in 10 minutes." You know, or not 10 minutes, but the airport was usually like the day before. But if it was like, "Hey, I'm going to the city," he's like, "Cool, man. I'm dropping someone off now for Uber. I'll see you there in a few minutes."
Oh, and so you never had any trouble where you had to call him and he's like, "Man, I can't come. You know, I can't do it."
The only convenience of Uber is that they have the payment built in, but he has the card in his car, or you could just cash, which is what I did. I just carried cash.
Right.
Which in Philly, cash is still king there. Like everyone, all the businesses, all your vendors, all the people on the street, all that kind of stuff. Cash is preferred still.
That's a Northeast thing. Everybody's carrying cash in Northeast.
Yeah, it's out here. I mean, if you dropped $100 bill at a place like a coffee stand in the morning,
freak out.
Be like, we can't change that right now. Yeah. You know, cash isn't as people are really into the card here.
Yeah. What about Cash App now? I mean, you could always have that too.
Yeah. What in the world? Someone jumped. Speaking of cars, I just saw a video of somebody. Someone took a video of a lady who's at a Tesla, but she probably rented or something, and she's at the gas pump looking. She's got out. She's looking for the gas fill up. It's got 4.5 million views. There's no way this is real, but she looks kind of nuts and legitimately looking around for a gas.
Elon.
I don't get this. It must not be her car.
No, he's borrowing. But who would loan somebody their Tesla? What nut would do that? Yeah, it's got to be one of these rig setup, whatever.
Gotta be. Or maybe it's like one of those things where you are able to rent a car, like that Turo thing where you could rent a car for the day.
Well, the first thing
Tesla
they should do if they rent you a Tesla is give you a map to where all the charging stations are.
Yeah.
Or isn't that built in if you know how to use it?
I think so. The other thing is like, I'm not that surprised. Like, I would believe that somebody knows the word Tesla, knows that it's a car everyone wants, but has no idea about anything. So they rent one and they don't know what's going on.
And the rental place isn't going to try and tell you about it.
Well, they rent it from like a dude. It's like Uber for cars, or like Airbnb for a car. It's called Turo.
Really?
Yeah. I looked at it in Hawaii. I was going to do it. It's kind of expensive for any decent vehicle.
It's cheaper than going to the rental place?
Yes, and it's more immediate. You can do it like within an hour. You're like, okay, I'm getting this car. Go show up here. Dude's got it parked. Keys are either in there. He's going to give them to you and you pay per hour or per day.
Although rental cars now are pretty cheap.
They are, but you have to reserve them.
Well, is there a problem with that?
Cheaper to reserve them ahead of time.
Oh.
If you're doing it day of, it's a little more expensive. Also, you have to go to the rental car place.
Well, wherever you land is usually a rental car place.
Well, yeah. But this is more like I live in the city and I'm going to grab a car.
I drove a shuttle bus for rental car place that was next to the airport. And at night, if I worked at night, but I would have to go there, and usually it was never more than a couple of people that wanted to come, on my bus to rent a car. And
there's also delivery too with the cars they'll do on Turo and stuff like that.
Back then, I don't think that they did not bring your car up to you at the airport. You had to go to the rental thing. This was like in 88, maybe.
Okay.
And one night I was there, and the rental agent did not come to work.
Oh.
And so I called the manager of the place, and I was like, well, what do you want me to do? He says, well, do you think you could rent somebody a car? I was like, I guess. I mean, I don't know. How hard can it be? Right, so I rented like 3 cars that night.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
No, the hardest thing for me was running the credit card.
Right.
I didn't know how to do that.
Stupid machine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So here, Turo in my area, they have everything from a Prius that it'll be delivered up to a Benz S-Class. Prius is $55 a day, which is expensive. If you live somewhere with more cars, I'm sure you get cheaper Toyotas and stuff. Someone's renting out an S-Class, it's a Benz, for $680 a day.
Jesus.
It's not even that nice. It's a 2016.
No, that's not that great.
No. There's a more realistic one, like someone's renting out their Ram 150. Ram 1500, I mean, for $160 a day. Now, if you needed to do some work, if you were able to not bust it up,
go to U-Haul. You're gonna get a truck for $30 a day.
Oh yeah. But I think if I did Seattle, I've seen in other cities. I've checked this out. People are renting out Lambos for an hour.
Yeah.
For I'm pretty sure they're for a video shoot.
Yeah,
would be the thing to do with
or
that.
just one event where they're driving up to something and getting out and then just to be seen.
Yeah. Well, Seattle Tesla Model 3 2018 $134 a day in Seattle.
That's not bad.
And they'll deliver it to you. Yeah, I mean it's for one day. I mean that's a quality new vehicle, right? It's nice.
Yeah, they must have some type of special insurance situation going on with that too. I don't know how the
insurance thing works. Doesn't your own insurance cover you when you're in another vehicle?
Yeah, it does, but it might not be the coverage level that you have for not a Tesla. $80,000 car.
Right. It's like someone's renting out a Bentley Continental on here. 306 a day.
Mm,
But it's a 2008.
no, it's old. No, you can't be seen in that.
Right. But they have cheap, like a Fiat, like a Fiat in here for $30.
I can't be seen in a 10-year-old Bentley.
Right. Bentley started making an affordable version of their car.
Yeah.
I've started
affordable at what?
I think it's in the $80,000 world.
Oh, okay.
I forgot the name. I forgot the brand, but I see them around here now sometimes.
Well, they probably went downhill now because all Bentleys used to be handmade, and they only made a certain amount of them every year, and there was a waiting list for them. I guess not anymore. They're probably mass produced.
I'm pretty sure they're mass producing something. I could be wrong. Maybe it's like 100,000, but it's more affordable because it used to be like $500,000.
Right.
Yeah. Well, now I see them once in a while around here.
They were all like custom fitted with real wood. That was,
well, that was Rolls, right?
Carved,
not Bentley, was it?
No, Bentley too. Bentley's part of Rolls Royce.
Are they still?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Yeah. Well, the freaking the wait time on those was like a year.
Yeah. You had to order them.
Yeah. I'd see them now. I mean, like if you had the prom or some other event, you might rent it from Turo or something for the
I think
day.
it's still that way with some supercars. You know, like these high-end Veyrons and stuff like that. Like that's a waiting list, and also like you have to be approved. Like they might not sell you one. If you're a jackhole and they think you're an idiot, they won't sell you one.
I mean, I could see that. I mean, it's a premium vehicle. You know, it's like their name is out there.
No, they don't want some, jackass out there that's going to take their new supercar and paint it Pepto-Bismol pink and put stickers on it or something. Like they don't want that.
Right. Yeah, that would be bad.
And also, if you get caught like straw buying one for somebody, yeah, you'll be on the shit list then after that too.
I have heard that. Yeah. Those supercars, you can't really drive them anywhere.
No, you can't drive them nowhere.
Can you imagine being in like Seattle traffic in that thing?
No, with the bikes are going to kick you.
Or just anything.
You park on the side of the road and the bums are going to poop on it or pee on it.
But just in the traffic itself, stop and go in the supercar.
Yeah, they're kicking up pebbles onto your $70,000 paint job.
Right, it's a $1 million vehicle. Well, I guess if you can afford it, who cares at that point? But
there was a video I saw. What was it? I can't remember the car. I can't remember the car. But an oil change was $20,000 because they had to take half the car apart.
Nice.
That's the way they designed the car. It was one of these supercars. I can't remember which one, but it's like a newer car too. It's like 20 grand. But I don't think you don't have to like change the oil every 3,000 miles. It's like you change the oil like once every 2 years or something, but still.
Right.
It's 20 grand.
That, like, if you want to get something that looks like a supercar that's not ridiculous, is one of those Audi R8s. They're like 120,000. 130,000. They make them in decent production, and you could get it, and it looks like McLaren or something.
Right.
But at 120,000, I mean, I don't know who's leasing that. I think they're like V10s. Those things.
I don't know who's gonna lease it to you either.
Probably you'd probably have to buy it cash at that point.
Because
someone recently bought an R8 that was totaled. I saw a YouTube video. He got it for like, I don't remember now, 30 or 50 grand. And it would basically like had some massive body damage and the frame was a little shifted. And he fixed it all for a few $100 and had an Audi R8 for like 50 grand, basically.
Oh, I saw one of those videos like a couple years ago of a guy did that with a Tesla. One of the first Teslas. He bought one that was like completely wrecked, or it was underwater or something like that. And then he slowly sourced parts from here and there of different wrecked Teslas, and he wound up with like a new Tesla, his own Tesla that was actually better than the original. I don't know. This is when Teslas first came out. I think they were well over $100,000.
Right.
He was in it for like 30, something like that.
I mean, yeah, I could see that. I've seen a few of those things where people are taking totaled or busted or old Teslas, fixing them in some kind of a way, and then selling them on the aftermarket.
Right.
They're still going to bring a premium.
Yeah, I think the some of the problems that the guy had, the one I saw, was that he couldn't get software for it or something. Like they were like being real assholes with they didn't like really want him doing it. I
Hmm.
think is what it was. Because then they were like, well, you're rebuilding this car not to our exact
Right.
specifications and stuff, and we don't know if you're going to give it to somebody else. Like they were very much afraid of his thing turning it's like Frankenstein, and
Yep.
then the next thing you know, it's killing people on the street or something.
Yeah, it's bad pub. It's
Right.
bad publicity for them, you know. But at the same time, how can you stop that?
No, you can't, because it's a right of use anyway of the items that you buy. I mean, that's
Yeah.
there's laws against that.
Right.
Which I
I mean,
say these phones break those laws actually. That you
oh
can't
yeah, they
repair these
definitely do.
phones.
They kind of made it in the way that like it's near impossible to do anything with them,
Yeah, you
except
can't.
for put them on other carriers.
Right. Well, they'd stop that where you couldn't cross carriers with the phones because that became
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I'm actually looking to change carriers. Verizon is outrageous now, pricing wise, and so many like T-Mobile and stuff. Their coverage is so good around here. They're buying everyone's Verizon contracts and leases out. I'm thinking about doing that and making my bill half.
Huh?
I'm getting tired. It's crazy money.
It's a lot of money. I pay a lot of money.
Yeah, in places where you don't have any sort of signal, that's the case. Now, I'll tell you, if I get it, I got to test drive it again, the T-Mobile thing, and figure it out. Because if it starts dropping and sucking, then I can't do it. Like I have to pay for the better network.
Yeah, last time you had a lot of times it would drop.
Verizon has the least drop calls of all and clarity of all carriers by far, but
Yeah.
they fail in all the speed tests. Like you might have signal, you'll have coverage,
Right.
but the overall like bandwidth you get when you have coverage is less.
You know what I think that is? I think because Verizon, with their CDMA technology and the towers that they have, you'll always be able to connect to something on
Well, they're
a
not using
low
CDMA for
network.
any of the. It's all LTE,
Well,
but I
but
think they
this,
fell back still.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Well, they're supposed to be the first carrier to 5G. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's 5G. I mean, how much these phones are fast, man. I mean, when you're at the optimum speed, I mean their max, regular speed. I mean, your stuff is not coming down off the web faster than that. They won't serve you faster than that.
Yeah, no. The only thing that it would be better for is sharing among multiple people with multiple streams at one time, like Netflix in the household.
Right. Right.
That's
Which then that's not benefiting you that much.
yeah. The only other thing it could possibly do is extend range and somehow extend battery life because if it were more efficient technology, but I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah. If it's like every other time where they come up with the next generation speed, it's immediately a poor battery life.
Yeah, it takes like a whole gen to fix that.
Right.
Maybe 2 gens. I
Yeah.
had the first LTE device. Sucked. Battery was like 4 hours, 5 hours of decent usage.
Right. It'll be
Battery
the
life
same way.
now? It's really good. Like I'm getting 15 hours on the iPhone XS Max.
Yeah, and that's with a huge screen phone.
Yeah, but the bigger screen gives you bigger battery capacity.
Well, yeah, but it still takes up a lot of battery though too.
Yeah, it does. I think that new XR, because it's LCD, uses a lot less battery and it's like better battery of any device, period. But nobody uses LCDs anymore. They're using LED tech now.
Samsung pretty much has the whole market on that. I mean, even this Google Pixel's using the Samsung screen.
Yeah, I think the iPhone stuff is LG. Now I'm not sure about the XR though.
Right.
The LG displays, if you buy the best, like best of the market LG, best of the market Samsung, LG still wins all the competitions.
Yeah. They
But I
always
don't
win
think
the
they're
huge
cheap.
giant TV competitions too. Like let's roll out a 300-inch TV.
Yeah, it's going to cost $15,000, but we
Right.
have it. Yeah. I mean, the big TV is cool, but once you get to a certain size, it's a hindrance in your living room. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm not playing the NBA. I don't need a 300-inch TV.
Well, you also don't have a room that's 40 feet long.
Well, yeah, I mean, those guys got these giant homes that are just tremendous.
Yeah, yeah. So, it's like I have a 55. It would be nice to have a 70. The room could support it, but I'm not going to spend the coin on it. I bought a 55 on Craigslist for like $300, the Samsung. It was
Yeah.
still had the stickers on it. Probably fell off a truck. I think it was from Best Buy. It still had the Best Buy stickers and everything on it. No box, no receipt. They said they just bought it. Right. I
Yeah.
was like, what? He tried to give me a sob story, like, hey man, we're like kind of behind on bills, I'm just trying to sell it. Hey man, I don't care what you're doing with it. Just give me the TV.
Right.
And it's still got it. It's been like 3 years.
Yeah.
It's a steal. I've got three 4K 27 inches in here that I got from Best Buy. They were blowing them out like last year, LGs. And I mean, there's so many pixels on those things that small text at this distance on 27-inch is kind of hard to read.
Yeah.
So I find myself blowing things up.
Yeah.
And my eyesight's great. Like I just had them tested. My eyesight's perfect, but freaking just this pixel size. Once you get so big and so small, what are you gonna do? VR is the next thing, I guess, right?
I don't know. I'm not sold on this VR because, there's a certain percentage of people that cannot do it. They just physically can't do it, and then there's the other percentage of people that they don't like it. Like they don't want something right in front of their face. I'm not sold on this VR as being the next thing. And I like some of the idea of VR. I think some of the gaming aspects to it is pretty cool and stuff, but I don't think that I don't think humans are set up for VR, if you want to know the truth.
Probably not. I mean, there's because you're so disconnected from what's happening in the world, you
Yeah.
get all motion sickness.
Yeah, I'm not sold on this VR being you're gonna throw your TVs away and everything else, and everything's gonna be you're gonna wake up in the morning and put this helmet on, and then that's you the rest of the day. That's what these people keep trying to tell everyone. And I don't believe it.
Ridiculous. You want to talk about the sedentary lifestyle of people killing everyone with obesity? You will put a VR headset on them, then they'll never move.
Yeah, I mean,
you talk about people getting into those like games that they move around and jump around. Yeah, the Wii Fit and the Dance or whatever.
Right, where are they now?
Where they're still fat bastards sitting on the couch playing Nintendo Switch.
I watched some of these guys that do thrifting for resale and stuff like that, and he went in like a Goodwill or one of these thrift stores. There's no lie, there had to be 60 or 70 of those Wii Fit boards on the shelves there.
I mean, it kind of sucked. It wasn't great, but it was like it was sold as like, hey, you're gonna be fit now.
Right. This is the next thing. Look at this right in front of your TV. You're working out. You're having fun. You're playing games. No.
Yeah, wasn't that like Thunder Thighs with Suzanne Summers back in the day? That's what you had.
Thigh Master.
Yeah. Or what was
that? Was actually a contraption, though.
There was a what was the other one that they had? Well, like Richard Simmons.
Well, all the sweating to the oldies and the Tybo and Billy Babs.
What that was in your living room.
The P90X.
Yeah, whatever that guy's name was, Ty, or whatever his name was.
Right.
Yeah, no, people aren't doing that. They're going to be eating Cheetos, watching VR games, playing VR games.
And they'll you buy enough Cheetos, you get a free VR game.
Yeah, because the interaction is not, unless it gets really good to where you're walking around your room back and forth and you're using your hands and having to, fight people. I mean, there's no way that's going to take off. The technology has to get way better for that.
I watched some of these videos. There's this couple, it's a husband and wife. They do this VR Beat Saber. Have you ever seen Beat Saber?
No. It's
a rhythmic music game, and it's VR, and you have two, a controller in each hand that is a virtual reality lightsabers, and these blocks come at you to the rhythm of the music, and you slice them.
Like Guitar Hero.
It's like Guitar Hero, but it's not 5 keys and all that, but it's similar to that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And the way they shoot it and present it and everything, they're in a green screen room, and they broadcast uh the virtual reality,
The video, what they're seeing.
right, what they're seeing on the green screen, plus they have a second cam of the person doing the action.
I see. Yeah, I've seen that before. Now that you mention it, I think I saw it when like as a demo. I didn't realize it was a rhythm game though.
It's I would call it a rhythm game. I don't know what else you would call it.
Yeah, I thought it was just like a lightsaber sim.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's probably I'm sure there's other like dragons and stuff like that or whatever games where you're like questing around or something.
Yeah, these fantasy nerds with their quests.
Right.
Oh, we're gonna get all these dragons, man. Yeah, let's come on.
Still people doing quests. I saw somebody doing. I watch somebody once in a while. They broadcast their What game is it? Geez,
World of Warcraft.
No, it's not. It's not even that. It's just one person like on a solitary quest going around collecting things.
Skyrim.
Like I guess it's like Skyrim. I don't know.
That Twitch streaming stuff is something I never would have predicted. Not to the level it's at now. I didn't realize people like to watch other people game that much.
Dude, the biggest thing is watching other people play Fortnite on YouTube. It's like the biggest channels ever.
I mean, it makes sense if you want to get better at it.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess when I was a kid, we used to watch each other play games, but I mean, I never really thought it would take off like that.
The only time, like when I was a kid, watching somebody play games when you were in line and you're trying to put your quarter up on the machine.
Yeah, well, you remember that? What was that Pinball Wizard movie?
Yeah.
Fred Savage, and they went to like a gaming convention, and everyone's like watching them play.
Right.
That's what this is, but on Twitch.
But now the biggest channels, some of the biggest channels on YouTube, they're taking over the makeup channels, are these Fortnite channels.
Yeah, those makeup channels, Jesus, that's mind numbing.
It's crazy. There's women on there that make it $10 million a year putting on makeup.
Well, you know, and the same thing with the kids playing with the toys. That kid Ryan's toy review that Gibson's been watching for a year or two now, he made 21 mil last year.
Jesus.
Now he has his own toy line at Target and Walmart.
Really?
Yeah. This year they just came out with their own toy line of Ryan's toy review. He was making like 5 to 10 million a year just on ad revenue because these kids are we're talking like every kid in America watching these videos 100 times a piece.
Wow.
And it's all ads. So they just sit and wait. Gibson watches it, knows when to wait for the ad, skip the ad, just keeps going and going. And he's got a little ADD with it. So he'll like watch the video for a minute, move on, next video, next video. Oh, what are they doing? Next video. What are they doing? Next video. And so now he's also watching these kids like act out football games, like with each other. They're like pretending to tackle, or they're like fighting, and he's watching that more than he watches the toy reviews now.
Huh.
So like there's these, I forgot, the Ninja Kids or something. They edit it pretty well, and they're just like in the backyard with like costumes on, fighting each other and rolling around. They're kids.
They're LARPing?
No, they're like playing like kids do.
Oh.
You know, they dress up and they'll go fight with lightsabers outside or Nerf wars, and he's watching that.
Huh.
And then watching the toy reviews sometimes, and then he'll tell us like, hey, I want this game, you know, Shark Bite, which is some game, like a board game, or really wanted Operation. We'll kind of find out he's watched videos of like kids playing Operation.
Jeez, I played that when I was a kid. That's all.
Yeah, we got it. It's fun. They removed the buzz noise. It just vibrates now.
Oh.
It still has a red light, vibrates pretty hard, but it's mostly just like a bzzz now. It doesn't actually make the noise anymore.
Oh, the noise is the thing that would make you jump out of your seat.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, the whole ad revenue thing.
And now he likes wrestling then too.
He loves it. He got a belt from someone. I don't let him watch WWE. It's too much.
Yeah.
But he's watched like the toys of WWE and the kids play with them. And he's watched like the battle royale with the toys. And then he's seen the kids in the videos with the belt, like the wrestling belt playing around. And now he's just like, the Velcro broke on The Velcro broke on the belt, and he was like, when he first got it, and he was like distraught and needed me to fix it somehow right away because he wanted to wear it so badly.
Huh. Yeah, you can't. Kids cannot watch that WWE or that Raw, whatever. That's totally sexual content and everything on that stuff now. Wrestling.
Yeah, that's great. I can't. It's borderline Cinemax.
Yeah. When I watched it when I was a kid, Saturday morning wrestling, it was just, over the top hyperbole all the time with the guys and the calling each other out. There was nothing sexual in it at all, ever.
Yeah. It's like I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a soap opera, really, I guess. But
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I'm not into it.
No, he can't watch that. I mean, he can't watch that. I mean, they're ripping women's clothes off in the thing, and I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and they have their own like what do they have? It's like their own women's division now.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched that in forever. I think the last time when I watched wrestling was like when you were young and we're watching like DDP,
Yeah, and the Rock.
I think it was even before the Rock a little bit.
What's his name? Hogan was old.
Yeah, the Undertaker when he first came on the scene.
Yep, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Kane.
Yeah, Kane, right.
Yep. It was kind of fun. I mean, you knew it was fake by that point, but that was pretty fun. But I mean, I'm trying to think, were there women? I think China was like the only woman.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, Miss Elizabeth they had with Macho Man, but she never wrestled. She was just a manager.
You never saw much of that, but now it's ridiculous. Do you see JCD on Twit?
I have not watched it. I don't know if I want to watch it or not. It's got to be a horror show.
JCD's being himself, but that freaking Doctor guy,
I can't stand him.
He started going. I don't know if he was joking. I don't think he was. Started saying that like old white men are the problem in one of the pieces.
Oh no, he's pretty pro. He's one of these pro-blacks. I used to follow him on Twitter, and he was all. I think when I unfollowed him was Obama's second term. He kept carrying on about Obama's Twitter followers, and so I messaged him and I was like, "Who cares?" I don't care. He's at 11 million, 15 million Twitter followers. So what? Yeah. What does he need Twitter for? He's on TV every day.
And the radio, freaking everything.
Right. That's what I said. I said, what does he need Twitter for?
Yeah.
Right? And so he got all like, what do you mean, man? So-and-so only had so many followers or whatever. I was like, he's the president of the free world. What does he need Twitter for?
Yeah, I know.
I don't, and that was the end of that.
He started. It was, and they were into politics. They're way out of element on politics, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
For like 30 minutes.
Wow,
it's tech.
Yes, let's talk about the latest phone. That's what the thing is good for.
Oh well, they talked about that. They talked a little bit about acquisitions, stuff like that. It's like they're trying to get into like they tried to say like, well, we're talking about social media's impact, and if we care, Facebook's stock being crap, and then also like acquisitions of the Sprint T-Mobile acquisition or the Time Warner acquisition.
They should be just calling out how Facebook is just a liar to everybody. I mean, and anybody who believed all that stuff that Facebook was telling everybody, no, we're not looking at anything. Your privacy is cool. We're cool with you. We're pro privacy, All right. And who didn't believe that they weren't looking at your private messages? Come on, now this is the internet, people. If it could be looked at or or useful to somebody, somebody's using it. If it's free, you're the product. Any free services on the internet, if you get everything from mail to social networks to even shopping to a degree,
Right.
if it's free, you are the product. Then your information is what's being sold.
Yeah.
It's always been that way.
Yeah. Yep.
Always.
Yep.
And I never believed any of these for a minute, especially Facebook. Oh, they've been looking at everybody's messengers now, private messages in Messenger, and they're giving that to companies. Well, really? No shit.
Right.
You're shocked.
Of course, the people are going to start marketing toward that.
I had to call out this dumb woman that writes for the New York Times that she was shocked. What are you kidding me? You're writing for the New York Times Tech and you're shocked that Facebook was looking at people's messenger chats? Yep. Get out of here. Yep. You shouldn't have a job anymore.
That's
what they need to do on Twit. I mean, I couldn't put up with, you know, I loved Leo because Leo kind of like really introduced me into new tech, you know, the new tech that was exploding, you know, in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yep.
And then he went off the rails. I mean, first of all, with the SJW stuff. And I'll never forget the time when somebody, he used to broadcast the whole studio 24/7. I don't know if he still does or not. And they were talking about getting guests for the Sunday show for Twit.
Yeah.
And somebody in the chat or somebody that was there suggested Callie Lewis. And he says, I can't have her on. She's a Republican.
Right.
And I was like, wow, man.
Who Leo, cares if they're talking about tech? It's technology, not politics.
Right. It's not politics. I mean, she had one of the biggest, you know, blogs or whatever at the time, you know, pretty big following with her stupid show that she had and everything. And oh no, she's a right winger or something like that. He said, you know, and I was like, wow, Leo.
Wasn't she Canadian?
No, she was down in Texas somewhere.
Oh.
She did that show with that John Pozadiz.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah,
Geek TV or something it was, or whatever.
Yep.
And but then that was it for me with Leo pretty much. And then all this debacle of showing his penis on TV. That was enough of that too. And then he tried to say, well, you know, you really using this stuff that I'm reporting on. So I do all my personal stuff on there. Come on, Leo. You got to be a little smarter than that. Did you ever hear of making a private folder?
Somebody, everybody's looking at that with a fine-tooth comb as you're sharing it.
Oh, dude, it wasn't within 10 minutes of that happening that it wasn't like all over the internet.
Everyone wants to see his Johnson. It's an old man.
No, in his private chats, like his dirty talk with his at the time girlfriend.
Right. Which
was
like
on the sidebar too.
Whether or not he was stepping out.
I think at that point he was already like separated from his wife and everything.
I hope
at that point, but the
problem with me was the show, the channel, which maybe there are a couple that still exist, no longer addressed interesting technical stuff.
Yeah, well, for a while there, everything just went to phones. Phone.
Right.
You know, there was no more PC talk really.
It's like app stuff now.
Yeah, app stuff. Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I can't. It's hard to watch.
And I also think I don't know how many people are still interested in long form tech news or tech reporting that much, because the short form, clips of on Twitter, YouTube, and other social media stuff, it's like you can get almost just a daily, 2 minutes of anything that happened, that's really of any importance.
The only long form stuff people listen to is stuff they're interested in. So you get a niche thing there for anyone that's interested in long form technology discussion. You know,
Right.
because like people like Rogan have 4-hour shows that are getting 20 million views and stuff.
Right.
So long form exists as people still liking it, but it's got to be something they care about.
Right.
You know,
And it's not tech. It's not
probably not. Probably because
it's not.
tech has become like the washing machine.
I also think that we're reaching a pinnacle in tech in a lot of, especially devices. Human beings can only do so much, and this tech now is to the point where innovation. I don't know, bigger screens, whatever, a little bit faster. But as far as like the usability of this stuff and everything, I think we're at the apex of that because I don't know what else you're going to do. People have 10 fingers, 2 thumbs, 2 hands, 2 eyeballs, and that's it.
Right.
That's not changing.
It's true.
The amount of stuff we have.
True.
So you're going to hold your phone in a certain way and use it in a certain way. And that's it. That's already been maxed out now.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Until some other way to interact with it comes along.
Right. Where they're going to start implanting devices in your brain or whatever, in your hand, in your eyeballs.
Microchips.
Yeah. Then maybe there's something there.
Mm-hmm.
But until that happens, nah, it's not else. Just think about it now. Think of the last 4 or 5 phones you bought or whatever. The differences are minuscule from one thing to the next.
Oh yeah, I mean there's very small iterations, which is why I do get the new phone every year, but honestly, I probably don't have to. But I think some planned obsolescence happens. Things get a little funky.
Yeah,
they get a little slower. I don't, for some reason.
But it doesn't actually make anything better for you. Like, it's not like this phone from the last phone. Oh, this new phone, it's saving me, 18 minutes a day because it does this. That's not it. It doesn't save you any time for nothing. And sometimes I think these new phones, it take way more time.
Because the time suck.
Right, because of the time suck of the damn thing.
Well, the that iPhone now has that screen time thing that lets you know how much time you spent on the phone and what apps
I got the
most
thing on my iPad too. It's like, oh well, you spent this much time on such and such, which is up 1.3% from your usual amount,
right,
of your social networking.
Yep.
Okay, thanks iPad.
Yep, it's pretty sad in some cases, but like I said, other cases it's people's main entertainment device.
Right. Yeah,
you know what also is a huge channel that people watch are these hydraulic press channels
to see things getting crushed.
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole, goes back to the Willet blend.
That was cool, actually.
Yeah. Remember
I actually thought about buying one of those, then I realized I'd never blend anything.
Blendtec 3000 or whatever the hell the thing's called.
Blendtec. The coffee shop here uses those, and they have them like they built it into the counter, so the mechanism is underneath the counter.
They cook soup without any heat.
Right? Yeah, it's just so hot, the friction.
Right. Yeah.
They'll do silly stuff like they'll put like an iPhone in there.
Yeah, well, that used to be the thing all the time. As soon as the latest iPhone came out, they're dumping that thing in the blender.
Right. Is $500, $1,000. There you go.
Yep.
But they make up for it. They'll make 100,000 in revenue from ads.
Yeah, and you get everybody in the comments. Oh no.
Or people that are like, can't believe you did that, man. You know how many poor people don't have phones?
Yeah, right. The same people that are not watching this thing because they don't have a computer either. Then
it's not taking a phone from anyone.
No.
It's producing content that pays money and ad revenue. Who knows if these people are philanthropic with the money they get from the ad revenue?
Nope. If somebody still wanted a phone, they can go right out to the same store that the Blendtec guys went to and go buy one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. No, you're not losing a phone.
So tired of the social justice warriors everywhere and the freaking Marxists. They're everywhere.
Marxists are going to Marx. That's what they're going to do.
They're all over you post anything, and if they assume it's in some sort of excess of some kind, and they'll say, well, you're really, crapping on the poor here, man.
Yeah, I don't want to hear anybody complaining about excesses from their $1,000 smartphone and their $2,500 contract they signed to get it.
Yeah, or the MacBook Pro. That's a $2,000 Facebook machine.
Right.
There's so many people that I just love a Mac, man. Never had any problems. You don't do anything.
Oh, you know what I wanted to talk to you about? There's a bunch of these new not Facebook, YouTube guidelines that are coming down next year. And one of them is cruelty to animals. They will not allow any depiction of cruelty to animals. So I thought about doing a video on this and
taking it like to the letter of the law of what cruelty to animals is. Or
no, I believe it's
their own guidelines.
Their own guideline standard. I believe it's not that you broke a law. It's like I think they're going to take down like the slaughtering videos.
Oh, you mean like
stuff like that?
You mean like where you watch them butcher?
Yes, or hunting. I believe hunting is also going to be
the
kibosh on that.
What about the people that feed their cats a vegan diet and kill them?
Well, that's what I said. I want to take this to the next level. Can I be on there eating a tuna fish sandwich?
Yeah, that's not even tuna. That's whatever.
Well, it's an animal. Tuna is an animal. Can I be on there wearing my leather sneakers? Where did this leather come from?
Right.
It didn't come from free range plants.
I can do a video of me eating a steak, but you can't see how it happens.
Yeah, I guess maybe that's what it'll be.
That's so ridiculous.
The leather too.
There's so much education on there on like butchering is a career.
Yes.
You can learn how to butcher from YouTube and go get a job making $25 an hour.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what they're going to do, but this is the fuzzy area now with all of these social media. If they want to start going down this censorship path, it's a slippery slope, man, because as soon as you start censoring something, everybody's going to bring up, well, what about this? Well, what about that?
It's going to kill the views. What's going to happen? You'll be like, all right, I'm done with it. Screw this. I'll move on to some other platform or stop it altogether, and I'll start going back to my local, college.
That was starting to happen with some of the things like with Gab popping up and the Mastodon popping up.
Yeah.
And some of these other things. But then they put the kibosh on it with the payment systems.
Well, I kind of wonder, the payment system, but I kind of wonder those Gab things or anything that scales, like, because that's what I do for a living, right? Things that work out in scale. Right. People are hosting those on cloud platforms. Right. Did the platforms start getting to that point where Google, Amazon, Azure, Rackspace, DigitalOcean, whatever, Linode, they say, nah, you can't be hosting these things that have Nazis discussing on there. Whatever they say, right?
Then.
That's it. But that's what they would do. They'd have to figure out, okay, they're hosting here, which means they're inspecting. They know what you're hosting, and then they're inspecting packets for information because you're on their cloud. Or even if they're not inspecting packets, they just realize, okay, you're hosting on our platform. Well, we found out that you did this. You're not allowed to be. You can't be on the. You can't host your app here.
Well, my whole thing is they shouldn't. Now, I know it's a private business. It's always a thing, and I'm also pro private business, having say whatever they want, and put the kibosh on stuff they don't want stuff to happen. They shouldn't have to do it. But if these places want to say that they're a platform, you're not a platform anymore. As soon as you censor something, then you're a content producing entity.
Yeah.
So if it's something that is not illegal, like I can go out and hunt rabbits if I want. That's not illegal. But YouTube's gonna be like, well, we don't like that. You're shooting rabbits. Well, yeah, so no, right. Well, we don't like it on our platform. Then we're not going to allow it. That's it. And like you said, if they do it at the server level, then with the cloud, where there's only, like you said, there's only like 5 major players in a cloud hosting. And as soon as one of them does it, the other ones are going to have to follow because the pitchforks are going to come out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
The torches and the pitchforks, and everybody like, well, so that's what happened with Twitter and Alex Jones and everybody else that got deplatformed. It went down like dominoes. Well, right. Apple deplatformed, kicked them off. Well, you got to kick them off then. Okay. Oh yeah, we'll kick them off. We'll kick them off too.
Yep. It's never the censorship thing. Private company, whatever. But it's you're gonna these people that are gonna stop watching your channels. It's going to eat into your revenue.
Yeah.
Because like I'm sure that's what's going to happen with Tumblr and the porn, right?
That is what happened with it.
So there you go. I mean, it's one thing, like if you can stop kiddie porn and stuff, I understand that.
Well,
But
that's
if it's
something
not
that's
that,
illegal.
that's illegal, right?
Right.
But amateur porn or whatever, just booties. Who
Right.
cares?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's all subjective. It's I want to say, oh well, it's the community. Community, my ass. I mean, the community. You're gonna say the same community that's going to be against tuna fishing on TV is the same community that's watching skanky girls doing whatever that they're doing,
Right.
you know,
Right.
on Tumblr and everywhere else. What about
Yep.
that community? It's the same people.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah, it's the censorship. And also point to me at any time in history, anytime, anywhere in history of man, where censorship going down that road led to anything good. Anything.
Yeah. It's not really censorship because it's not, I mean, it is on their platform. It's not like state censorship. So you can't really
No.
get that upset that way.
But
But they are
like you
censoring
said,
the content.
but like you said, there's only like 5 major players.
Right.
And you can't just go anywhere and host your content.
Not at scale. Someone like Gab, wherever they're hosting, like if you got decent traction, that thing would come to a crawl.
But also, if they start going offshore and stuff like that, countries could just deny their DNS, just delist their DNS from anything coming in the country. You'll be like China with certain things.
That's real censorship.
Yeah, that's what they'll do.
Yep.
They'll do it. And that's what this whole net neutrality stuff is a backdoor to. Oh, it's net neutrality. Yeah. Oh, wait. We can censor everything we want then. And you signed up for it.
Yep.
Idiots.
Yep.
People are idiots.
What is this movie I've heard that people watch? It's called Bird Box. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, I saw it. When I went to Netflix the other day, it started up, a preview of it or whatever. It's some I don't know, it's some kind of apocalypse or something. I don't know. And it's some entity or something that's attacking everybody. I couldn't make heads of it. It's a science fiction. Let me just put it at that. It's some kind of science fiction.
Mysterious force decimates the population. The only one thing is certain: if you see it, you die.
Yeah, so there's people running around with blindfolds.
That's that one movie. What was it called? The Silence or something? Did you see that one? It was like a movie that had like 2 lines in it because if you made any noise, that the monsters were going to kill you.
Yeah, no, but I think that was I saw that. That was with John Krasinski and his wife.
Right.
Whatever her name is. Yeah, that was but those were actually like beings, like
oh, they were like real alien
monster things or whatever the hell they were. They never explained that in the movie, which was weird, where they came from.
That sucks.
But this thing, it looks like it's just some kind of entity, like
something that exists.
Force. Yeah.
Oh, it sucks.
I don't know.
Is that like that Happening movie?
Oh, The Happening.
Where it was like the trees are turning people into suicidal.
Wasn't that like the worst M. Night Shyamalan movie
I've ever seen?
Ever. What's with that M. Night Shyamalan? He puts up some stinkers sometimes. Like he's made like a couple of good movies, then he puts out something that's awful. Awful.
Well, it's hard to come back from that Sixth Sense. Like he peaked too early.
I don't think that. See, everybody wants to say that Sixth Sense was so great. 20 minutes in, I wrote on a piece of paper, he's dead. I folded it up and I handed it to Hope. I said, open this up at the end of the movie. I figured it out. I don't know why. I seen that thing coming like a mile away.
That's all anyone talks about with Shyamalan is that movie.
I don't think it's that great.
I mean, I
think it was better episodes of The Twilight Zone than that movie.
That kind of is what they took from.
It's
a little bit.
Go watch the Twilight Zone, the original series. Or I'll tell you what else was better than that was Creep Show was better than that. The Crypt Keeper.
Oh yeah. That was good actually.
Yeah.
I watched that Predator for the second time, and I loved it.
Yeah, I told you it was great.
But I do hate the propaganda, but I loved it.
Yeah, well, the propaganda is bad in it with the autism kids or the next evolution and climate change is going to kill the planet when there's
Right.
some kind of crazy energy force that these aliens are using to float giant ships across
Right.
multiple galaxies. You
Right.
can't give us that technology?
Right. Give us that.
Right. They'll give us some dumb Iron Man suit. Give us
Right.
friggin'
Yeah.
free energy.
Yeah. They gave him like Mark 10 Iron Man suit. It's like, hey, here you can fight these guys.
Yeah,
What?
fight them with this one suit. Here's this one suit for you. Good luck, guys.
There's another way we could fight him too. It's called Nuke. Yeah, we could fight him already.
Yeah.
But we can't stop whatever you're saying the climate change is.
No, but if we had free energy, that would pretty much put the stop on fossil fuels, period,
Yeah.
wouldn't it?
Yeah, they've got a suit that's powered without any need of battery.
Right.
Let's use that.
Well, also the giant spaceships are going across the galaxy. How the hell are they doing that?
Right. Yep.
Riddle me that, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh, I don't NDT. That guy. I'm fine with him talking about astrophysics theory. Talk about what you know. Fine. What you went to school for, what you read about, but let's not start pontificating about the futures of man.
I don't want to hear it anyway. He manages a planetarium, for Christ's sake.
He's like a librarian.
Yes, he's pretty much like a librarian of shining stars on the ceiling. I went to his planetarium when I was a kid.
Right.
When I was a kid, I went to.
New York.
I mean, he wasn't there. I don't think, but I went to that. They
shining, right?
Look, you could buy your kid right now. You can go to any mall and go into any store and buy one of those lights that shines onto the ceiling, all the little stars. That's what I saw that they made a big deal out of when I was 11 years old and went to the Hayden Planetarium. That's what it was.
Yep.
And some guy narrating and the vast expanse of space. You know. Yep. There's shining lights on it. You're in a chair and it reclines all the way back, and you're staring at the ceiling where they're projecting little lights on the ceiling. That today, if you brought your kids there, they'd be like, "What the hell is this? I got this in my bedroom."
Right. Yep.
And he's the manager of that place. That's what he is. But we got to listen to him talk about black holes and climate change now too. And plus his social justice warrior garbage he talks about.
Yeah, like because he's in science of some sort, he must be an authority on all things science, is what people say.
Right.
Which is how all scientists agree. Not if you take the subset of those climate scientists, they don't all agree.
Right.
Right? Take the people that it's their field of study.
And not all science is the same. You know, you got biology science, you have economic science, you have political science, you got astrophysics, you got there's multiple sciences that you don't know everything.
It's impossible. The only way that it works is the people in your field have to reproduce your theory.
Yes, it's like saying somebody he works on building houses, so that means he knows how to do plumbing, electrical work, tile work, concrete work, roofing work. No, he doesn't know all that.
I mean, yeah, general contractor knows how to get someone to do that.
Right.
Not do it himself.
No, but NDT, he'll tell you.
He's just a spokesperson for the ideology.
He's been on Big Bang Theory. Don't you dare. Don't you dare question him.
Right. The show was funny for like 3 seasons. Then it became Friends. And then the stupid pro-science folks, you know, have used it as some sort of proof of things. But a lot of people hate it because they'll say, oh, they're just playing off the geekdom, you know, cheap laughs or whatever. But it had a couple funny bits for a little while.
It's nerd porn, pretty much.
But the nerds, they say, no, it's not. It's, you know, it's for casuals.
Well, it's not hardcore enough anymore. They lost their hardcore audience.
I think they're just butthurt because it's making fun of at their expense.
Well, yeah, it's a mockery, pretty much. Are all the characters on there like really
on the
awful?
spectrum?
All right.
They are. You're basically watching a person with Asperger's.
Well, the Predator movie said that that's the next evolution.
Yeah, how's that going to work out when they can't reproduce because they can't get any time with anyone?
Well, maybe other people with the Asperger's. I don't
No,
know.
you talking about two Asperger people going to make it? No.
They'll have some kind of forced, coital
Yeah, they'll have to
things or
force it.
something.
Yeah, they'll be like, "Hey guys, listen, we're not going to be around in 2 generations if you don't start figuring it out." But then they'd say, "Oh, we'll just create technology to, inseminate."
Yeah. I'll deposit my seed and whatever, we'll harvest it.
Well, that's been talked about.
Well, you have all these people that froze their sperm and their eggs and everything already. So
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
for 50 years they were growing babies and cows.
Alex Jones. They've been growing babies and cows for 40 years. That guy.
And turning the frogs gay.
His deplatforming has ruined him.
I don't know. Didn't Adam and John say that it's ramped them up now with
Gotta hurt him.
it had to have hurt him, but
All right, how is he delivering content now?
I think it's direct downloads. I'm pretty sure it's from website.
But it's like that's my question. Is like who he's hosting with gonna deplatform him next?
I don't know. I don't know what he's hosted on.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. It could be some kind of Alex Jones. It won't be .com. It'll be Alex Jones .lzt or something. It's some little country somewhere that nobody knows what it is.
No, all the alt-right folks, what they call alt-right or conservatives, will start hosting out of Singapore, and they'll just block that DNS domain.
Eventually, right? They'll block it. That's your net neutrality. They'll block it.
Yeah. Yep. See what this wonder what their DNS points to. Infowars.com. I'm not sure who this is. Cloudflare for CDN distribution.
Canadian?
No, Cloudflare isn't Canadian. CDN is their content delivery.
Oh.
They're using Cloudflare for DNS and delivery, but I don't know what the back end is. I'd have to look into it. They have an RSS feed. I'm not really sure. I'd have to look into where it's hosted, but I just wonder who's hosting them and if it's going to be a problem for him.
Well, his app has been pulled from all the app stores, right?
Right.
So he has to be using open source, just straight up RSS.
From one of his from his own site, I'm sure, but I don't know who he's hosted on.
No, it's got to be somebody. It's got to be. I'm surprised they haven't gone after that.
Might be hosted on Amazon. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. It's very interesting because delivering media at scale is not easy. You need a lot of bandwidth.
Yeah. You need like peak time bandwidth too.
Subscribe to the banned show. They're trying to tell you how to subscribe to it by adding a podcast by. Oh, they have so the Infowars.net out the I is how their RSS is where the RSS feed is. Yep.
Oh.
But I don't know where that's going. Hopefully some smart dudes named Ben have helped him out.
Probably. I wonder how he gets around. I'm surprised no ISPs have shut him off.
Yeah.
Where are the torches and pitchforks for those? I mean,
no.
He's in Texas. It's not like he's in some he's not in Bolivia. He's in Texas.
Yeah. Telecom. Taipei? Let's see where he's coming out of. UTC, Colorado, TW Telecom Holdings Inc. is where that's coming from. So this is a telecom distribution in Little Rock, Colorado. Parent organization is CenturyLink.
No, CenturyLink is.
No, they host. They're probably a a hosting provider that they're using, and whoever's building out his site is using them instead of like an Amazon, because it's not going back to that RSS feed is not going back to an Amazon.
Wow, I wonder if it's if somebody's set up a you know, their own server, their
They might have
own
said they might be if they're smart.
right.
Yep.
Then they only have to worry about ISP. That's it.
Yep.
He might have done that. Probably that would have been a smart thing to do, because then the next thing they would have came after would be whoever was serving them.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know who that. I wonder who that is. Who owns the IP, at least the hosting company. I'm thinking it's oh, Confluence Networks, and okay, this is in Texas. Yeah, he might be hosting out of a colo data center somewhere, a couple places. Right. Mm-hmm. That don't like that aren't getting into the censoring yet.
Right.
So the parent company figures it out and starts pressuring them.
Yeah. Well, that'll be the next thing. Come after his ISP.
Mm.
And I don't know yet if the ISPs, as far as I know, they don't bow to any pressures of interest groups. They only bow to the pressure of the government, as far as I know.
Yeah, for now.
Right. There's no what do you call it, marches on
well, you know. All it takes is like for an iTunes to be like, hey, we're not going to accept anything from your host.
Oh, and that would be a problem.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know if they could go down that path though, because they're going to lose people. They're going to lose a lot of money then. They can't. Well, maybe they could. I can't. You never say they can't. I mean,
iTunes is free. I don't remember now. It's not much to publish there, but they don't host anything. They just redirect your stream URL.
Right.
Yeah. Most podcasts work that way. You got to host your own RSS stream feed somewhere.
Right, and they'll just distribute it for you.
Distribute it. Yep. All right, it's getting late. I'm gonna get going to bed here soon.
Okay. Well, it's been long enough, anyways. Ain't nobody watching this anyway, so.
Oh, they'll watch it later.
All right. I'll see you later. All right. Just figure I'll end this here. I don't know. I have to go back and look at this and see how it came out or whatever. I know my webcam is awful. So there's that. 2019 though. There we go. Get a new webcam. That's what we'll do. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching.